My mother-in-law, though she never attended school when she was young, was a very intelligent person. We lived together for 18 years, during which she shared many stories with me. Today, I'd like to share 2 of these stories with you. The reason why the wife was beaten. One day, a Taoist priest visited a family, seemingly to help resolve the conflicts between the husband and wife. The hostess warmly welcomed the Taoist and explained that her husband inexplicably beat her every day. She asked the Taoist to help her understand the reason behind this. The Taoist said, "Do you know why he beats you? It's because of a karmic debt from your past life. In that life, your husband was a donkey pulling a millstone for you. When he walked too slowly, you beat him. He endured many of your beatings and insults. Therefore, in this life, he reincarnated as your husband to beat you." The hostess asked the Taoist how she could stop the beatings. The Taoist advised her to place a broom at the door. When her husband returned home and saw the broom, he would pick it up and beat her. The Taoist said, "Just let him hit you, don't fight back." The broom is made up of many bundled twigs. Each twig counts as 1 strike. When it hits you once, it's like being hit many times. After a few strikes, you've repaid what you owe. With that, the Taoist finished speaking and left. The hostess followed the Taoist's advice and placed the broom at the door. When her husband returned and saw the broom, he started to beat her. She endured silently until he grew tired and stopped. From that day on, her husband never beat her again, as the debt had been settled. The son turned out to be a leading goose. Throughout history, very few sons have ever verbally abused their parents. However, in one family, the son and father could never get along. Every time the son returned home, he would inexplicably start yelling at his father. Despite the father's efforts, the problem persisted for many years. One day, the father heard about a highly accurate fortune teller and sought his advice. The fortune teller explained that the son's behavior was not baseless. It stemmed from a past life's conflict. The father had once shot and killed a leading goose with an arrow. In this life, his son was the reincarnation of that leading goose seeking to settle the debt. The fortune teller provided a solution. When the son was away, the father should climb onto the house beams with a basin of water and a mirror. Upon the son's return, the father should use the mirror to reflect his son's image in the water and identify the position of the sword on his right forearm. Then, the father should come down from the beams, approach his son, and pull out the sword from the exact spot. In another dimension, this act would remove the karmic sword. Since that day, the son never yelled at his father again. When I listened to my mother-in-law telling these stories, at that time I had not yet started practicing Falun Dafa and was influenced by atheism, so I didn't believe that the events in the stories could be true. It was only after I began practicing that I realized if people don't believe in karmic retribution, it's a very frightening thing. They might unknowingly create negative karma, bringing themselves endless pain and trouble. All right, that's it for today. See you next time.